Welcome back to 843 TV. We're here now with Mr. Bob Stevens. He's a very familiar face here on WHHI. News anchor for the news and the sports. How are you this morning?
Terrific.
So there is all kinds of exciting stuff coming up in 2016.
Yes.
Obviously, we've covered all of the other stuff. So as an anchor for the news, what do you feel like the most important stories coming to the island this year? What's something that's
Chamber
really
Restaurant Week, I think, is
Good answer. It's a good start.
It's a great start. What a wonderful start to the year. I think this is a very important year to the island, and I think it's a very great opportunity year for the island. We've seen everybody come back, real estate's coming back. We're starting to get some more development on the island. A very important year to kind of maybe draw the lines a little more sharply and a little less gray area as to where we're going. Development versus preservation, you know, and that's always
a hard balance.
That's always going to be a balance, and the mayor is obviously trying to walk that line right now, and I think it's going to happen particularly in the Coligny area, that whole Circle to Circle project that they're going to be studying through most of the year. How do we keep the beautiful trees and the great atmosphere of Coligny and yet continue to promote its growth and continue to do the renovations, whether it's the USCB campus or the new hotels that are going in down on the beach side. It's
and
going to
there's
be a very
people
important
always
year.
on both sides of that debate, for sure.
Oh, sure, but you know, hopefully we're seeing, and hopefully people will take a lesson from what happened mid-island at Shelter Cove. A lot of opposition to what was going on at Shelter Cove when it happened because it was changed.
Right.
Not many people are complaining right now. It
That would be
Actually won a big award, yeah.
It's beautiful.
You know, because of the parkland with it at all, and the way the development has worked, and as community involved as Shelter Cove has become, you don't hear a whole lot of fussing about it now.
Well, times are
It's
changing,
working.
and we need to roll with them.
Yeah, and big ideas always bring opposition on both sides. If you go back to even when the bridge was built, that was, if I'm not mistaken, with council, that was a 4-3 vote.
Yeah, wow.
People were voting against
to build the bridge.
the cross island, which now you couldn't even imagine the island without the cross island. So I think you're
now,
right.
Now
Bob.
the argument is, do we need another one?
Yeah. Right.
And when do we start
right.
rebuilding? When do we make it bigger? Yeah.
The magic word, I think, too, is redevelopment. When you
Yeah.
look at over 5, do you think that is going to continue to be the story?
I think so. There's so much on the island, and I think the hotels along the beachfront, you know, made a big change in that. They realized, hey, we're getting a little old and tired here.
Everybody kind of got a facelift the last couple years.
Yeah.
Everybody's
It really did need it.
and they spent hundreds of millions of dollars, not just a few million, hundreds of millions. You know, the work that the folks, the Goodwin family at Sea Pines have
That's
done on the
amazing.
golf courses there and the clubhouses there, the hotel there and whatever. That kind of growth has just been wonderful. And yet it's tried to keep the character of the island and what makes this so special. We don't want to be Myrtle Beach.
Right.
We know where our niche is. Now we've just got to make it even cooler.
You know, 2016 puts us at the $500 million mark in redevelopment.
Wow.
That'll put us there. So it speaks to what you're saying. Is
absolutely.
It's definitely,
Yeah.
We're not talking about
definitely.
chump change.
Private investment is strong. It brings confidence, builds confidence.
Yeah.
Well, and to bring in what, you know, you were talking about earlier.
It does, and I think with golf and the importance of tourism to our area, I think our town has worked very hard in going to get the people we need to fill the hotel rooms, to fill our golf courses, to
Well, and a
help
lot
employ us.
of that is the work of the chamber,
Absolutely.
and then folks who work with the chamber. I'm involved with a group with the Golf Course Owners Association.
Partnership.
I mean, it's a group of people who compete with each other, and yet they realize there's a bigger picture. And so we are going to be spending the next couple of months out and about.
Yes.
We're going to be
Where do you go?
toward the end of the month. We're going to be in Columbus and in Louisville. Then in February and early March, we go to Chicago. We go to Southern Michigan, Novi. We go to Boston. We go to Toronto, and talk to those people about coming to Hilton Head and play. You know, golf is still. I mean, I'll argue, and I'm prejudiced because I'm a golfer. Golf is what still drives the bus in a lot of cases here in the town, and it brings people. And it all works together because something like Restaurant Week, now the restaurants are better. And that has been the biggest change. I've lived on the island now for 11 years. To me, that's the biggest change that's happened on the island in the time I've been here. There used to be about 6 places to eat.
Well, that's
and
what
now there
has-
are 200 on the island itself, and that's fabulous. And that's how you get families and golfers to come to the island when you show them all the other things.
Because you take the kids to do something fun at the beach, or go play in the new playgrounds, or go to the shops at Shelter Cove while your husband's golfing. And then you go meet him at some fabulous restaurant and enjoy dinner and drinks afterwards.
And
it's like the perfect day.
Yeah. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, Bob, you do the high school sports. We're just coming off of a fabulous football season, a lot of playoffs. The Hilton Head Seahawks had a great run this year, and we spent some time on the football field and covered those, and now we're into basketball season.
It is.
Tell us about that, what we have coming up there. What can we expect out of our schools?
It looks like the power in basketball in this area this year is going to be Bluffton High School. Coach Macy's done a great job over there. They have a sophomore high school. We all know who sophomores in high school are. They're gangly kids who don't know what they're doing.
He's not.
There's Jermaine Patterson, who's a sophomore at Bluffton. He was a great freshman, might have been the best player in the county as a freshman. Now he's a sophomore. He's even better. We did the game this last week where he did not score a point until he made a couple of free throws in the fourth quarter. He still ran the game. They still won the game because he was running the show. And
He's been running the game since, you all seen him play when he was 12.
Oh, there
My
you go.
husband coached
See?
him when he was 12, and he was like that.
And so I think he's going to be a great player. Bluffton High School is going to have a very good team. I think everybody else is competitive, which is nice. They're all playing each other during the early part of the season. They start region play in the next couple of weeks, and we'll find out how that all shakes out. But that's going to be fun to watch throughout the early
There's
spring.
been a huge community support too with those boys, which I think is wonderful. Not only with the basketball team, but with the football team. I just think it says tons about our community when everybody comes out and supports all of our kids. I think
absolutely.
That's wonderful.
And we found that out with the football. When Hilton had made the playoffs, people came. And
Oh,
were part of it all.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's great.
So we encourage everyone to come out and support your local athletes.
Absolutely.
And so that's all we have time for today. Thank you for joining us for 843 TV.
Where communities come to speak.